Hey guys, welcome to our new chapter, chapter 4, on criteria. Criteria are simply evaluative standards that we use as yardsticks to measure an employee's successes or their failures. We want to have, so if you think about a yardstick, we want to have the very, very exceptional performance, the very, very poor performance over here. Most employees will fall somewhere here in the middle, but we use that yardstick to define the employees that are exceptional employees or are exceptional at a specific part of the job, and also the employees that are less than exceptional. IO psychologists are most interested in the criteria used to define on-the-job behaviors related to an organization's goal. So it's very important that they're related to an organization's goal. You can have an employee that is excellent at something, but if that does not either align with the organization's goal or if it really has nothing to do with the job. So like I might sing really well. I don't, but I might sing really well. You would not use that to define my performance on a job as a secretary or as the wellness director or a personal trainer, right? The two have nothing to do with each other. IO psychologists use criteria to define performance of employees, to evaluate training programs. So you would use it to define whether your training program was successful or not. If your employees learned and retained the information, it was successful. If they did not, it was not successful. To validate a selection battery, that is my favorite part of IO psychology. It is something that we will learn about in the upcoming weeks. It basically is criteria to define whether or not you hired the correct person. Criteria are also used in promotion and demotion decisions, like we just talked about. Your very excellent employees and your very poor or less than excellent employees. So there is something called the ultimate criteria, and we compare that with actual criteria. Ultimate criteria encompasses all aspects of a job, every single detail, every single thing that you could think of. It also encompasses every single thing that you can't think of. So, sorry for that little interruption. So your ultimate criteria will encompass every single thing you can think of. But then you can take it to someone who actually does the job. Or even if you yourself actually do the job, take it to another person who does the job, and they will, without a doubt, think of other things that should be included in there. Hey, I do this, or hey, I do this. Those would be additional evaluative standards that you need to add to the ultimate criterion. We can aim to measure every single standard, but we never will. For one thing, we would run out of time. You would never be able to measure every single aspect of every job, and you really wouldn't want to. So your actual criteria are criteria taken from the ultimate criteria that are deemed the most important. As an IO psychologist, rather than evaluating 20 different things, you would want to boil that down to evaluating, say, 8 to 10 different things. Your managers will definitely appreciate that when they have to do their performance reviews and they're evaluating 8 to 10 different things, or even less, dependent on the job, right? So what are some standards used to measure you as a student? Your grades. Do you ask questions? Are you determined? Are you a good listener? Are you, that says problem solver, I think it's cut off. Are you a problem solver? Are you a leader? So those are just different things that are used to measure you as a student, right? But I am certain that as a student, you could think of 10 different things that you would add on top of that list. So if we asked everybody, and if we were in the classroom, I would ask everybody, we would write them on the board, and that would be our ultimate criteria, and then we would be able to boil that down to 8 or 10 to make the actual criteria. For your assignment, we are this week going to be designating criteria for the job that we chose for our job analysis. So whether you are the lab rat technician or the child psychologist or the accountant, the nurse, etc., what I want you to do is make a list of 20 different things that you can think of that you would evaluate criteria on. So on one sheet of paper, I don't want a cover page, anything like that. I just want a Word doc, one sheet of paper, 15 to 20 things that you would evaluate criteria on. Then I want you to go through and either bold or underline or star or however you want to designate 8 to 10 things that you feel are the most important. If you have trouble with this or you can't think of that many things, reach out to me, or really what you should probably do is Google. Google and find the list, or if you go back to your ONET, so you have that list of like 20 different things, and remember we're looking at everything above 67%, so that top 33% of things, right? You can find your evaluative criteria in that. So go through, find that. I want one sheet of paper, your ultimate criteria, and then your actual criteria. We're going to use it for next week. That is your only assignment related to your job analysis this week. Remember, you do have the discussion board. Your first post is due Friday. Your 2 responses are due the following Monday. I did ask you to pause the video and text me. So watch that first video. This is how we're counting attendance and making certain that you're watching the videos. I will be posting, this one's a little bit longer, I will be posting short between 5 and 8 minute videos, probably 3 times a week, with the more important things in the chapter and the things that are pertinent to your homework that you need to know. I will post again tomorrow night. I'll make certain that you have at least 2 videos before everything is due on Friday, before your discussion board post is due on Friday. Reach out if you have any questions.